Hi, welcome to WinByChange module on root cause analysis. This is Praveen, Certified Quality Leader and Success Coach. In this module, I would be sharing my experience to equip you to solve real-world problems using root cause analysis. You would also see how this can create abundance in your life and work. Okay, are you looking for abundance? Then for next few minutes, let us turn off all distractions. Get yourself a diary and pen because learning depends on your participation in exercises. Pause the video and play when you are ready. Wish you happy learning. As you know, roots are the reason for all fruits to exist. For fruit to be sweet, we nourish the roots. And sometime when the fruit is not as sweet, what should we look at? Yes, it is root. So all scenario that we face at work and in our life, there is a root cause. Every problem has a root and it continue to reoccur till the cause of problem is not addressed. Roots are important as they are the cause for current situation. Finding roots require patience and persistence. This is only possible under enabled leadership and visionary. This remind me of bamboo tree. It takes 5 years of nourishment for seed to emerge from ground. But once it is out, it grows up to its maturity within 2 months. Think of the height of over 80 feet in 5 weeks. Secret behind its exponential growth is the roots which has grown under the ground for 5 years. Till 5 years we do not see any fruit, but once sapling emerge from ground, it spreads rapidly. That's why we say it takes a visionary to create a culture where every employee is empowered and recognized for their efforts towards finding the root of current problems. Let me introduce you to John. He is an operations executive at financial services company. John is entrusted to open new customer accounts. His success is measured in terms of A. How many accounts he opens, that is productivity. B. Accuracy. Ensure all policies are followed and any discrepancy is resolved. C. Turnaround time. To be able to open account in 2 days from the time customer submit his form at branch office. His actions determine first experience of customer with organization. Let's see how is day in life of John. It's Monday morning. John wake up fresh, happy and feel this is a wonderful day. Rubbing his eyes, he wonders why he do not hear cockcrow. Maybe he is early, but as he opens the curtains he realize he is actually late. Puzzled and check his alarm clock which did not bell on time. Oh my god, battery for alarm clock is dead. He gets ready and finally reach his office 15 minutes late.
Hey Ria, good morning.
Good morning, John. How come you are late today?
Hey, I didn't wake up on time.
Lazy guy in my team. Come on, let's start work.
So Ria's perception of situation here is that John is a lazy. Blame goes to an individual. Do we see such situation at work, wherein we label individuals for problems? If you were Ria, how would you handle this situation? The actual reason is not always apparent. Let's go through sequence of event. A. Alarm did not bell. B. John wakes up late. C. Reached late to office. Apparent fact, John reached late and is labeled as lazy. First level cause is, he woke up late. This is not directly actionable and do not reflect the real underlying problem. Even second level cause do not reflect. In order to understand the reason, we will need to interrogate. By going through the inverse sequence. Start with problem and continue to ask why till the root cause is reached. Do not stop till root cause is reached. After every iteration, you take a call to rest the case or go deeper. It is recommended to have 5 iterations. Roots are below the ground and not apparent. So 5 iteration ensure enough depth is reached to see the root. This is time to leverage your experience and expertise, logic and intuition to dive deep and bring out the real cause which can be actioned. Remember, do not blame on individual or availability of time. The root cause may be a systemic fault which make problem repeat again and again. Wise would reach the system and never blame an individual. Once root cause is identified, write down the corrective action to address this. Time to celebrate for John as he would have more time because this problem would not repeat. Now he can be more productive and importantly happier because his manager and people perception of him would be good. This technique is called why analysis. Developed by Sakachi Toyota, founder of Toyota Industries. He believed in go and see philosophy and empowering ground staff to solve their day-to-day challenges. He was supported by Taichi Ono who added 5 as an iteration and hence called it 5. Why analysis. I personally believe role of manager is to enable ground staff to achieve their goal. Yes, I mean enable. And how do you enable? Improve their competency to solve problem. Do not stop there. Ask them to reach the root every time there is problem. Do not solve their problem. Enable them to see the root and solve their problem. That is how you would create abundance for you and them. Once the root is reached, action can be planned. Immediate action taken by John is to replace the battery so the current problem is resolved. This is called correction. John is wise and realized that this problem will reoccur unless the root cause is addressed. So John wished to address the system. Based on past history, he determines that battery lasts for minimum of 90 days. Hence he set in a system to replace the battery every 90 days before it actually fails. This is called corrective action. He can reuse this low-energy battery in less critical areas. When we solve the current problem, it is called correction. When we find and address the root cause in a way that problem will not reoccur, it is called corrective action. Actions that we take to ensure problem do not occur in first place, it is called preventive action. As you observed, correction is not the end of journey, but the start of adventure into finding a root cause and hence corrective action. Root cause analysis is major differentiator for an organization. I say this because I see organizations operate with defect rate on basic services and customer experience is not 5 on 5. Most of the problems are repetitive and solved by multiple units during the same time in their own creative ways. They solve these issues every quarter. They say it proudly that problem is resolved. Say with me resolved. That means problem is again solved. If it was solved, why did the problem reoccur? So I say that RCA is major differentiator for an organization. To carry our RCA is simple but technique need to be learned. Okay. Let's get on to the notepad. Identify 3 problems that you have solved multiple times and now you do not want them to reoccur. Or you may also list your unresolved problems which you wish to address. Choose one from these and do 5 why analysis. Earl Nightingale in one of his address about success said out of 100, only 5 make it great because there is large disparity between what we intend to do and what we actually accomplish. The biggest reason is we ourselves. Earl also said opposite of courage is conformity. People are acting like everybody else without knowing why and where they are going. Isn't this the reason many processes are broke? So let's go back to John and see what John actually does. As soon as John start working on first application, he gets a call from his manager that today Sumit is on unplanned leave, so can you please reconcile his work. Takes him an hour and he is back. He completes the application and starts next, but his phone rings and there is a branch manager who wished to discuss about the application status. While the objections have been raised in system, but not detailed enough. So require him to explain in detail, 30 minutes of his time is gone. Then time for break. John completes his second application and start work on next, but manager calls up a meeting to discuss on an escalation. So overall John spent 30 to 40% of his productive time in handling problems, but the irony is that same issues repeat and are resolved multiple times. If the issue has not reoccurred, John would have 30% more productive hours and TAT would have been much better. Root cause is not reached, corrective and preventive action, or let's call it CAPA, is not taken seriously. CAPA is a culture. To establish this as way of life, we need to make it easy to do and share. Followed by rewarding the behavior. Every step in this direction counts and changing the culture may take time. Once CAPA is in place, your calendar would be in your control. That means you would be able to do what you plan to do. George Bernard Shaw once said people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are they who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and, if they can't find them, make them. Once we decide to go to the root, no one can stop us. Once we make it a habit to go to root, problems do not reoccur. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. So John set a goal for himself that for any problem that he would come across, the RCA would be done in next 72 hours. Let's cheer for John because now he has 30% more time and is recognized as star performer whose contribution accelerate growth for the organization. He is a role model and promoted to next level. Einstein said you can't solve the problem with same mind that created it. Let's see how to do root cause analysis. A step-by-step process which would enable you reach to real root. Define the problem well, followed by identifying the right participants. Once participants meet, build on each other experience. Ask why did problem occur. Have persistence and continue to deep dive till root is visible. Now identify corrective measures. Root cause analysis when done by different individuals, may tend to give different results. Sometime may not even reflect on the right root. While approach is simple, There are rules to game for making it successful. Key enabler is identifying the right participant and building trust in them. Team will need to give in their best. Discussion need to be moderated so that participants think beyond blaming and know where to stop. If followed religiously, roots would become apparent. Let's look at one more example before we start the next exercise. There is customer complaint that they have not received their account opening kit. As per process, team gather and start the why analysis. First, why is the main effect? Identify the primary cause. Then challenge why this happened. Identify secondary cause. Then tertiary cause. Go on till the root cause is reached. Remember, as 5 time is just a guiding factor. You may even decide to go further. Having identified a cause, now arrive at an action to address this so that problem do not reoccur. That is corrective action. Do ensure to put in controls over the corrective action so that it is permanent. Okay. Time to practice. Carry out root cause analysis for one problem that you identified. Pause the video and play once you are done. Identifying and addressing root of problem is key for any organization to grow. Why analysis or 5 why analysis is a simplistic, interrogative and iterative approach for root cause analysis, in a way problem will not reoccur. This creates differentiation for individuals and organization. Let us pledge to carry out 2 root cause analysis every week and observe the difference in just 6 weeks. FGnC as consulting organization is adding value to industry through its unified transformation model called MIWA. This is brought to life through consulting, workshops, and conferences. FGnC is recognized through various awards. You can reach us at support@fgnc.co.in.